محمد نبينا بنور هادينا من مكة حبيبي نور سطاع المدينة من صلى صلاة.
This lesson, I would want us to learn something about the various aspects that we learn in social studies, and part of it is practical geography. You visit areas that are of interest, you see them, you learn about them, and you're able to feel the touch, you're able to see part of most areas. In the recent past, we visited the coastal areas of Kenya. Today, now that the country has been divided into counties, today we refer to as Mombasa County. But not only Mombasa County, but we tried also to cross to other counties within the coastal region, for example, Malindi. And I would want one of us to come and share with us what was the trip like. How did we learn part of what is acquired in class, and we practically saw it on the actual field? Who is going to help us go through that? Yes, Isam. Please come forward and share with us.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Traveling leaves you speechless. Then it turns you into a storyteller. This is a story of the best school trip ever. But first, let's start with dua.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر سبحان الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين وإنا إلى ربنا لمنقلبون. اللهم إنا نسألك في سفرنا هذا البر والتقوى ومن العمل ما ترضى. اللهم هون علينا سفرنا هذا واطوي عنا بعده. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك اللهم أنت الصاحب في السفر والخليفة في الأهل والمال. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من وعثاء السفر وكآبة المنظر وسوء المنقلب. Have fun.
Now these are stories, they tell no lies, lessons that stand through the test of time. They tell us of a path that remains so true.
My name is Sam Suleiman. I'm in class 8 Achievers, and we came on this trip on Monday. So bad we're leaving on Thursday. I could have wished it's gonna be longer.
How long?
Forever.
You don't want to go back to school?
No. Even on the first day, I was thinking I don't want to go back. When we boarded the bus from school to the airport, I was talking with my friends. We were asking each other how the plane would be. Some of my friends hadn't even yet been on a plane. It was their first time.
Why KQ? Why the flight? Some of the parents, in 2015 when we sat for the meeting, we sat for the planning committee of the trip with the parents. Most of them said they don't want jumbo jet, they want KQ. This year, before we came for the trip, 2 kids and the director, they were given a business class offer because we've given them around 5 years down the line business. So it's not cheap, it is expensive, but their services are good. من مكة حبيبي نور
سطاع المدينة من صلى صلاته واتحلى في صفاته يا بخت اللي في ظله ماشي يشفع له في مماته محمد نبينا بنوره هدينا من مكة حبيبي نوره سطاع المدينة من صلى
The purpose of this trip basically is a learning session, and apart from it being a learning session, we've had a very tough marathon kind of program running since we resumed school from corona break, and kids have really had an intense program. So we discussed with the parents and agreed that they be given a break, and alhamdulillah, thanks be to God, some parents accepted.
As a candidate coming to this trip, it creates a memory to remember my friends, and then you can see how other people, it just shows you how much work you need to do to get at the top. So you could have a lot of stress, and then this is just a stress reliever. Like you put all your worries aside and just have fun.
To have such a good opportunity, because if we didn't go, I think we would have too much stress with the exams and all this stuff. So we will just be deteriorating just both mental health and physical health.
This year, we've had so many challenges, of course, because of COVID. And before I even planned for this trip, it was not in my mind. Of course, I was thinking about what I'm going to do about this year's trip, but the children themselves came out. It was a force from the children themselves. Everybody was asking, you meet them on the corridors, teacher, what are we going to do? We have not gone for the trip. Teacher, what do we do? Plan for the trip, plan for the trip. And it was not easy, even when it comes to planning. It was not easy. I was just wondering, how am I going to approach the parents? And we thank God, it was a step of faith that we took. I can't even explain that eventually it was a success.
When I was in class 7, the class 8s went for a school trip, this same trip, and I kind of felt jealous that they were going on this massive holiday. I wanted to join them so badly, but they didn't have any other tickets.
Long time, since a long time ago, I've been calling you every day and night. I know I got gratitude and love for you. For all you do, you be one and no be two. I look around me, what I see, your blessings surround me. Al Aziz, all you gotta say is be and need to be. Oh my love, you the one I got. Looking up to you had made me see the open door.
What goes into the planning of the trip is immense. That's what I can say. We normally have a very, 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 very immense plan for the trip. It takes almost 3 to 4 months planning for such a trip. We've done it before. I think this is around the 5th or 6th year since we started having the plan of coming to Mombasa. We thank God, director just came up with an idea and we took it over, and we came up with the plan. So what happens is that first of all, we discuss with the children, we come up with a questionnaire, and we go ahead and show them what they are supposed to learn from the trip. We communicate to the parents. Like this time again, due to Corona, we didn't have a meeting to call the parent to come so that we discuss about the trip. But I remember one time during an open day, we approached the parents. I was talking to the parents, each one of them, and discussing with them about the trip. And actually, most of the parents were very supportive.
When Teacher Nancy first came and told us about the trip, she was planning for the trip, I did not believe it at once. Then she gave us the papers for the trip. That's when I knew, wow, we're going to Malindi. I became so excited.
When I first heard of the trip, I felt excited. I felt like the final day for waiting has come. I felt the date October was too far. I just wish it could have been the next day. I couldn't wait to go.
The day I was leaving home for the trip, I was very anxious and I was excited at the same time because I would be coming to a 5-star hotel.
This is fun.
My parents' expectations, they were kind of worried at first, but then they started trusting me little by little. Then when they saw my performance, they accepted and then they paid. But they told me that it was a test of responsibility. It's not my first time being away from them, it's just my first time being away from them with my friends. So I think they thought I was going to be naughty and stuff and cause havoc.
I didn't really believe that I was going to go because my parents were against it. But then my parents they decided, after they saw how much fun it was going to be, they decided that it will be better to let me go than to just let them to not. I think they made a great decision because if I had not gone, I don't think I'll have had as much fun.
At first, they refused. They were worried about my health since I have a skin condition and I have never been away from family. This is my first time. I would always travel with them. So at first they refused, but then after a little of convincing and improving in my studies, my father allowed. Then I talked to my mother. I spoke with my mother and she allowed after that. After seeing that I would benefit so much from this, and it's a lifetime to hang out with your friends.
Sarova has pool, Sarova has food, Sarova has the best rooms. Sarova has a view that you could never forget, has so many pictures you can take, you can even overload the memory.
And we do Sarova every year because of their hospitality, because of the environment, serene environment. Our children love the food prepared in Sarova.
The rooms are very nice. It's just a place you can go relax. When you just first lay on the bed, you can doze off to sleep instantly. It's just so beautiful, big, and the view from the room is very nice.
We also like to train or to have the mindset of the children looking far above where they are, and also even giving them a vision of where they are supposed to be, the standard, to lift the standard of our children.
I have dreams right now. Maybe I could even own a hotel like this, or I take my family here. I just want to be thankful to the teachers, the director, the parents for giving us this wonderful experience. At my age, my favorite food is more food.
You made me sing this song that say no be for grabbing. I know that my life is for rent, and I know that I'm returning it back to you. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha
Where are we going?
The wife of the old man of Borneo has just come to town. The daughter of the wife of the old man of Borneo has just come to town.
Now, this is the coastal lowland. This is called Arabuko Sokoke. Sema Arabuko Sokoke. This is what you learn in SST. It is a coastal lowland. What do we call this, teacher?
We can say, concerning the farm, we can say it's an expansive tract of land.
Malindi, it's just like Mombasa, but I think it's better. It has blue waters, it has blue skies, but it's very hot. You need a lot of AC. I mean, you could just sit down there and just take a glass of madafu.
Our creator, there's no one greater than Allah. So why do we stand tall, too proud to recognize what's right before our eyes? Signs from the Lord. Hey, little fish in the bottom of the ocean, moving along in a really cool motion. Did you ever wonder where you came from? Who is the Lord of all creation? The little fish said, that's my Lord. The little fish said, that's my Lord. The little fish said, that's my Lord, Allah, the creator of us all.
Malindi was very exciting, fun. We saw fishes, we went swimming. We saw the teachers' good side. They were all playing, everyone was having fun. We were pouring water on each other. It was very exciting.
We cannot discover new oceans until we have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
This is my first time going in the boat. I was really scared at first, but then when we reached the island, I was excited. I forgot all about my worries. I was not scared of the boat anymore. It was just wow, nice.
Into the glass boat, we felt excited. Phones were out, snapping pictures all over, selfies everywhere, flashing cameras. You just look down, everyone's just mesmerized by the scene down there. You're seeing fish, you're seeing coral, stone, sand. You see the waves crashing back and forth on the boat. The best team building games, that was the best part. We went to an island that disappears, it reappears and disappears like a magician, and then we played a team building game. You were to switch cups. The cups go all around while they're saying a story, the death game. Whenever anything related to death, it stops on you, you come back in. And the teachers also lost for the first time. Now we actually have something to brag about. Now the pupils have something to brag about. Playing with the teachers, and we were told to get our revenge, and yes, we did. We threw them in the water. We gave them a proper bath. We all went swimming in there, and the teachers never came out. And the best part was the director also drank some water yesterday.
The team building games were the best. Right now, I think, when we go back to school, I think it will be much easier to cooperate with our fellow students. Because of the team building games, it has really helped us in cooperation.
It is very, very good when a child reads about Vasco da Gama in the book and he literally or she literally touches the pillar. It will never go out of their minds.
From class 6, we've been learning about the Vasco da Gama pillar, but I've never seen it. So when this time I saw it, I was very shocked. I didn't think it's just a pillar. I was shocked to see it's just a pillar, and it was my first time, so it was the best experience.
The Vasco da Gama pillar was mesmerizing. You could tell the history from there. We took pictures. I mean, that was only something you've ever seen in your books or heard by someone. Now we actually got to see it. I think it's gonna improve our SST question on that, if any comes. The packed lunch in the bus was great. We ate and ate. Some people were exchanging apples, some people exchanging the banana, some people exchanging the chicken, the sandwiches. There's even a croissant inside there that we ate.
Feel now?
I feel better.
I feel better.
I feel better.
I feel better.
Give it to
to the director.
I take the ball.
I take the ball.
I put it here.
I put it here.
I pepeta.
I pepeta.
I pepeta.
I pepeta.
نفسي أشوفك في المنام يا رسول الله.
Remember, right from the word go, from the planning session, logistically, trip planning is very involving. But the exciting part comes now when you see what you had planned happen. You see learning happening, you see kids enjoy themselves, you see, kids mingle. So for me, I would say it's been wonderful. The learning has been there, enjoyment has been there. It was a great experience.
All right, so you are most welcome to Fort Jesus, huh? Yeah, in Swahili, karibuni. Yeah.
We're just digging.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just natural.
Natural, coral, carved and done.
Are you getting that voice? Yeah. Very important.
And by that time, Kenya and Uganda, it was under the British colony. British East Africa Protectorate. That was 1st July 1895.
In fact, I expected nothing less than this then, because this has been a wonderful experience. We've been a 5-star hotel, which is very rare. I mean, that's like a once in a lifetime chance.
I didn't expect something as big as this. I just expected like a normal trip to Mombasa, those normal trips, but this one, hi.
So I've come several times, but this was the most fun experience.
If I had missed this trip and had it from my phone, I would have felt so sad. I would have felt my spirit breaking up. I could have said, I just wish I could.
I would feel very jealous and sad, because this was one of my best experiences in my life.
My message to the parents, I want to sincerely, from the bottommost part of my heart, appreciate you for the support, for the trust that you have given us. It is never easy to convince you to allow your children to go with us out. As much as these children push us, talk to my mother, talk to my father, it's never easy, even when it comes to finances, giving this whole amount for them to go out and have fun or even just learn. It is never easy. But I want to take this opportunity to appreciate you for the support, for the trust that you have always given us, and may God indeed bless you and provide more and more to you.
We even had parents who had to follow their kids, especially those who were in Mombasa. They would come and check with us, check how we are doing. I mean, that cannot go without recognition. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm very grateful to the parents, and I pray with this continued support, it should be able to push us to the next level.
To my mom and dad, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for paying for this trip. I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity of a lifetime. And I want to thank you very much for the supplies you've given us.
My mom and dad, I would like to thank them for paying for me this trip. I know I'll improve on my grades. I've really learned a lot of things. I've had fun. I would like to say a very big thank you to them.
Thank you, Mom and Dad. I'm so grateful that you allowed me to come to this trip, and I benefited from it so much that I could now answer questions in exam and I would not fail them and earn more marks. I would put my best foot forward and try my best in exams, and I would be very hardworking, inshallah. Thank you.
Mom, Dad, thank you so much for letting me go to this trip, because if I had not gone, I think I'd be jealous about all the stories being told by other people and me not getting the chance to see it with my own eyes. Thank you so much. Because of this trip, I will work so much harder and I will be sure to get 400s all the time.
So I'd want to thank the school directors in particular for all the plans that have been organized, whether it is transport, whether it is with the tickets, whether it is in the accommodation.
I want to take this rare opportunity to appreciate the school director for the support that he has given me, particularly when it comes to planning for these trips. He's always been there to advise me. He's always been there to accept and take my suggestions. He's always been there to support me to go out and check on these places that we are going to visit before we go there. You are one rare director that we have come across. You are one person who has always been out and wholeheartedly support the trip department in this school. May God indeed bless you. May God indeed open even more doors and expand the school because of the support and the good heart that you've always shown these children all the way through to this time.
Thank you, Director, for giving us all these services. We've never felt so special.
I want to take this opportunity as well to appreciate the head teacher who has always been there to also talk to the class teachers, to the students, and also support the plan that I normally have for the trips. Without forgetting the class teachers, you've always been there to also talk to the children, support me talking to the parents, because you are the people who understand the parents much more than me. I might not know all your parents, but because you know them, you are always out to support the students out in the field and even preparation of the trip.
Thank you, Teacher Nancy. Thank you for this great trip, and I hope you give the others something as great as this.
I want to thank the entire team of teachers that was on board. Keenly, each and every teacher had a responsibility, right from morning to the end of the day. You would see a teacher who would be the last one to go to bed, and the teacher who will be the first one to wake up in the morning to make sure that each and every child have gone for their salah in good time, prepare them to go for their breakfast, be each and everywhere the child is, in all the activities. And these have, have given us easy time. We have not had any incident. Our kids have behaved very well. They have enjoyed themselves, and most importantly, there has been maximum supervision and safety for our children.
We come with so many teachers because we like our children to be taken care of adequately. All these teachers, whenever we have a group of teachers like 8, we normally subdivide our children amongst the teachers. And every teacher normally have like 3 students or 4 students that they manage. So every time, every night, even before we sleep, every teacher is always supposed to walk around and check, where are these children? Where are the children that I have been given? So that in case anything happens, we receive the reports from all these teachers. And sometimes our kids at their age are very naughty. They are very naughty. Unless you have someone who gives them that close monitoring, they can do anything.
To the teachers, I would like to thank them so much. They have come all the way with us. I know sometimes we can be disturbing, but I promise I would improve on my grades.
Another reason to why this big number of teachers is sometimes director gives it back to the teachers. They do so much for these children. This immense program that I'm talking about, these are the people that are running this program. So you realize that they are equally tired. They are equally worked out. So we come with them so that they also get this time to relax. Sometimes director looks at what we normally do, the services we offer to the school, and he says, let's take these teachers out, a reward of what they have done.
I feel very sad for you. You could have just come. It would help you a lot learning things in SST, and it was the best experience. You could have come. But I feel sorry for you, and Don't worry, you'll just watch the videos.
What it's worth?
Coming to a place like this, it's very expensive. Very damn expensive, if I may say so. And coming up with even the cost of this trip, it's equally not easy. We normally sit down with the director, come up with the budget, talk about the flights, talk about the buses, talk about the places where they are going to visit before we come up with the figure to tell the parents. Of course, the figure that we tell them, in their view, it's normally too high. It's normally very expensive. But now director, we normally discuss and say, if we give them a figure like 70,000, most of them will not accept. They will ask, what is this figure for? Why are we having this whole huge figure? So we normally decide on a figure that is kinda accommodatable to the parents, as much as the money is not even enough. Planning for the flight, planning for a place like this one, planning for all the places we go, the amount they give is not even enough. And apart from that, even giving them the figure that we give them, for example, this time they paid 60,000, according to them it is too high. But normally we sit down with each one of them. I call each one of them. I have to break down the budget of this figure. And in the long run, they realize that even the figure is not enough.
At first they were like, 60,000 for what? Then later, when they read the paper, they were like, okay, we'll pay for you.
The trip is worth the money. The trip is worth a lot more than the money. It's worth everything. It's worth all the efforts you've put in. It's just outstanding, amazing, beautiful.
Now that I'm here, I think it's much more than 60K. Worth much more than 60K.
Wako moja uko wapi? Kweli? Weka mguu hivi basi mpaka itoshe ndani ya hiyo country. Wewe wakijua unawakanyanga mwanzo watakufunga. The country should be? Togo, capital city? Lome, colonized by? French. No. A country that does not access the water body, then we call it landlocked country. South Sudan, Zambia is landlocked. It does not access any water body. So tumefahamu sasa. Identify the country. That's what the examiner will do. They'll draw you a map of the continent. They tell you the country marked X has a capital city known as. Sasa nyinyi mnashindwa kwenda mahali country iko. West Africa is to that end. In the past we have had, every other time we go back, we have always had what I would call an instant change from each and every participant, because they want to make sure that the sacrifice the parent made to make sure that they participate in this particular trip is also, they are going to give it back in terms of performance, in terms of change of their behavior, in terms of, you know, being more focused even in life, even beyond their national examinations. But specifically, I would expect an improvement in terms of their performance, an improvement in terms of their discipline, and even from the teachers, because we have had several activities, team building activities. We have had activities that both students and teachers were doing jointly, whether it is having meals, whether it is swimming. So that have created a bond that goes a long way, from my experience as a teacher, to even understand this child better. So when you are in class teaching, you kind of have, you know, this close touch with that child. So automatically it yields better performance.
Right now I feel very excited, just excited because I will never get a chance like this ever again, but it's very exciting to know that I'm here.
And why?
I think it will be etched in my mind forever because it's just a memorable trip. I don't think I'd ever forget it in my life.
Now that I've come here, I'll improve my performance tenfold. I'll go out of my way to do the efforts because this is going to be a way of thinking Kinderworld for this.